Effective channeled message. Please only take what resonates, leave the rest for the best, no matter stress. Today we're in Exodus 32. It's always a movement of us Jah people, remember that. So before I get into the message, I'm just going to give us two little positive spiritual cards to enable you on this last past journey. See what you needing to say in here today. So you've got Isaiah 60:22. It says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. So when the time's right, the Most High God will make it happen. Certain things are just divinely timed, universally aligned. Certain things, is divine intervention has to take place in order for certain things, people, places and things to happen to make these positive changes for ourselves as well as those who are around us. And it says, and peace of God, which transcends all understanding. So peace of God, which transcends all understanding, so you can overstand it, understand it, so it will guard you and your heart. So when you're understanding it, you're feeling within your heart and your mind within the Most High, yourself, 111, yourself to be divinely guided, universally aligned, having that true, unique balance, that duality, 111. So that's you having that spirit of the Most High within inside of you, working through you. Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me in every side. So you're increasing your greatness, you're getting comforted in every side, your emotional, physical, mental, all of those little aspects of your life, you're just increasing. And perfect love casts out fear, 1 John 4:18. So perfect love within yourself, the divine, the Most High God, to know that He's guiding you, protecting you, He's got you, so it casts out any fear, any doubts, any wonders, what you be having. You just know, you just give it to the divine, you give it to the Most High God. There's nothing more that you can do. All it happens for you, for reasons. The loads just dropped there. It says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. So you're just guarding your heart at this specific moment in time, because you know everything flows from it. You're looking from your heart. It's making you be aware. Certain people, places, situations, as well as things. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated constantly. Stay committed to yourself and you'll change and achieve remarkable results. So you're changing and you're achieving remarkable results because you're staying steadfast within yourself. And sometimes things did not work out the way you expected them to, because you were being prepared for something better. So things didn't work out the way you expected them to, because things was preparing you for something bigger, better to come your way. That was just a part of the journey. That was just to enable you, to allow you to see certain things the way you needed to be able to see certain things, to get yourself in that right alignment for the assignment, because it's all a process. It's a journey. It's not a race. It says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Psalms 27:14. So you're just waiting on the Most High God within inside of you to be able to heal yourself. You're waiting on these people who you're thinking about to heal themselves, to be able to continuously keep moving, gaining that knowledge, that understanding, for them to raise their Christ-like frequency, to get into that alignment for the assignment. Because I am the Lord, the God of all mankind. Is anything too hard for me? So you know things aren't too hard for you. You've got to go through them dark ships. That's Jeremiah 32:27. So you've got to go through them dark days, release those emotions, be creative, find your true strength, move with love, speaking with compassion. Christ will make His home in your hearts. As you trust Him, your roots will grow down into God's love. Keep yourself strong. Ephesians 3:17. So you're just keeping yourself strong, finding that duality, that balance, that stability within yourself due to the extreme dangers of the admiration of love or reverence. Somebody could be keeping themselves strong because they've got extreme dangers of love and reverence towards you. And these divine feminines, masculines as well as friends, they're now taking that practice. They're learning these things. That's withstanding over them. That's that physical image of you. And that was due to the fact that they was looking and worshipping idols. And that was a misdirection coming from you. They was looking at other certain things and they was worshipping and allowing other people, places and things to take over their hearts. And now they're looking and they're clinging onto their heart now, because they're feeling that heart of confidence. They're gaining that trust. And that's what has happened, because they're looking at their peace, and their peace was within inside of you. And they was doing things excessively for lust and greed, and they was being deceptive towards you. So these divine feminines, masculines, now they was moving in disguise. They was disguising themselves to that true confidence. And that true confidence was in you. So they disguised that. They made out that they wasn't doing it. And they were trying to replace you with other energies, other people, places and things. This was due to loss, cars, clothes, greed. And it was all tangible things that was for the eyes of you. They wasn't looking and dealing with the purity. They didn't look at the communications. They didn't look at the understandings. They weren't looking at their emotional effects of the side of certain things. And now they're forced to be able to sit there and look and identify the simple things that they're lacking. They was looking like they was wanting these things like they was just full of gold. And they got diverted. They was too into the jewelry. They replaced you for jewelry, for lightly things, for material objects. And for things that was just in their eyes' sight. Now they're in that dark days. They're feeling hurt. They're feeling sad. They're not knowing what to do. And you're just continuously shining your light. These divine feminines, masculines, family members, as well as friends, they're looking back at you now because they're looking you as that perfect piece. They want to be able to come and create and check in with you, but they're looking at these positions and the passions that they're holding, and they know that you're influencing other people and they're not of good influence. They've been holding a vision and they're holding you within their vision. These divine feminine, masculines, as well as friends, they're looking towards you for that common goal. Because they see something within inside you. They see that you're that real, true, divine, feminine, masculine. They see that you're delivering, helping, supporting, assisting, enabling. You're raising your frequency. You're up in your high, joyful state of mind. You're there. You're not feeling low, lack and sad. You're just continuously increasing yourself for your own greatness. You're gaining your understanding, your wisdom. You're acknowledging certain people, places and things. And it's just guiding you and you're guiding others. So you're that like beacon of light. You're showing people that liberation to be able to get through certain things, pressures of oppression. So you're just trusting, you're just releasing all things that no longer serve you. People, places, things, those sad feelings, those sad hurts, questioning those thoughts, identifying those emotions, identifying those triggers as to where they're coming from, why it is the effects. And now they're looking at you, they're looking and they're identifying, they're wanting that new path to be able to come to you for that new beginnings. They're just trying to identify themselves. They're identifying themselves because they're wanting this fresh start with you now, because they want to be able to take their time to be able to come to you. So when you take what resonates, some of them could be near you already, some of them could be far away. They're just wanting to be able to let their self go of all of those bad energies, those low vibrations, what they were seeking for the karmics. They was looking for certain bad things, and now found a newfound respect and joy within inside of you. And you can got your own newfound respect and joy, so they can see and feel that you're not giving them that specific energy that you was putting out and giving, so they can feel that loss. It's like a duality, that balance, that ebb and flow, and you got that negative flow, that energy. So they're feeling this now, so they want to be able to come and overcome these doubts and these thoughts and these feelings that they've gained through their mind and their subconscious. They're trying to gain this stability. They're trying to gain understanding. They're looking at the connection between you and the divine, and for that transformation. They're looking to see how they can do and balance from the middle grounding. They're trying to be able to meditate and gain leadership. Just like Aaron, they're maintaining that strength and taking leadership, just like how you took your strength and leadership. You evoked your spiritual change. You gained your wisdom. You had to go through that dark night of the soul. You had to hurt, cry, get yourself upset. You went through these feelings. Everybody goes through these feelings because we remember, because we've got emotions. And those who are lacking emotions are not going to go through these feelings, so they'll be lying. They'll be hiding inside and lying. And those people who don't want to be able to show themselves because they're trying to maintain their strength, and they're taking that positive, constructive way. They're trying to make the strong, stable way, just as you made that positive, constructive way, you made it stable. You put on your face. You just continuously kept on moving, smiling through the storms, danced in the rain, released all of those hurts and pains, and you had to keep on moving forward because you knew you was just taking yourself to that land of honey and milk and honey. The land of milk and honey is that raising your endorphins, raising your frequency, raising yourself to get to that highest vibration, to let go of any hurt and pain. So you just kept on moving along your journey, and you was using your conscious mind, because you know you was just like royalty. You was moving these affirmations and manifesting and creating certain people, places and things that's of a positive, of joy, and that letting go of anything that no longer served your highest good. And these divine feminines and masculines and family members are now, they're looking at you on a highest level. They see your higher power, and they can see now, they're looking at that spiritual lineage. They're looking at the relationship that they had with you. They're looking like who you were to them in their life. And now they're looking at you and they wanting to be able to come and show devotion towards you, because they see that great relationship that you obtained. It was a divine connection. It was inherited from the divine, and that was a strong relationship. They want to be able to build back that strong relationship. They want to be able to have that understanding, because they want to be able to come and have these agreements with you. They're looking at the mental and the material and the spiritual and the physical, and they're looking at the alignments. They're looking at the positive 1, 2, 3 aspects. They're looking at each different way, so they're bullet pointing. They're like looking, and they can see, they're feeling all this. They've identified they was around certain karmics and they was not really the real true divine feminine, and those karmics was like snakes, really. They was fake. They was just due to like adultery, and there was just of admiration, and it was just like a temporary satisfaction. It wasn't real. It wasn't what they really need, and they didn't know it was really more like dangerous. They didn't realize that it was just bringing them more heartache, hurt and pain due to the fact that there was false gods, those karmics, because it was karmic consequences. And now they want to be able to abandon them, to be able to come with the truth. And now they're ready to be able to shine their light. And because they're looking and giving away these earthly things, now they want to be able to 111. They want to shine that light on you. They want to give away those earthly things and come and build those pillars of you, because they see that you're that true divine source, that true divine energy. You are that one that lights up their light. They know that you have to go through those hard times, because it's going to prepare you to both for those better days. And they're seeing, because they want to be able to have success with you, because they're summing up all the small effects. And that was all the small effects, and it was repeated constantly, and you were just staying committed. And you'll be able to achieve some remarkable results, because you was committed. You was that steadfast one. You was that strong one. And those karmics are like a reputation of you. Oh, look. They are not that true divine light. You are that true divine light. And they now see those dangers and turning away from you. They see some dangers from turning away from you. And that is just from replacing you for earthly gods. They try to replace you, and they try to do it with strong, tangible things. But those was tangible, earthly, and you're just irreplaceable, whereas they're replaceable. 12. You was that true divine one. And they're now, because they was being stiff-necked, they was being stubborn, they was going on like they weren't even interested, they didn't even want to even try to communicate. They may have not even been communicating clearly. They may have been their true, authentic self. And you just identified and recognized that that's not that person. That's not that person you met. And they was just having fear or anxiety. They could have been bringing fear and anxiety towards you and in their environment or your environment. And they was feeling fear and anxiety within their environment. They weren't knowing what to do, because they wasn't in their conscious mind, these divine feminist masculines as well as friends. And now they're gaining that profound truth. They're looking over to profound action. They was having bad influences and the outcomes, and they may have expressed anger towards you. They must have been going on in specific ways. They was going on like they wasn't interested. They was shouting and being rude and disrespectful. They treated you in ways that they would never even have treated you. These divine feminines and masculines, they're now in that profound effects. They're having that profound grief. They're bound to that doctor's house. They're having that 111. It's just all 1111. They're just having that true full, but they're feeling it all within their heart. And it's that they're increasing it. And it's increasing with greatness, because the more they're not with you, I've got to cast out this fear. And you casted out all your fear, and you move with your love, because you knew something was better for you. You knew you had to have these life changes, because you wasn't indulging and sitting with that, in that hurt, in that pain. You continuously kept on moving. And these divine feminines, masculines as well as friends, they're now looking, they wanted to take that almighty, they wanted to be able to gain that strength, they need to be able to gain this leadership, because you're just expressing your concerns. You've been able to take your leadership. You knew that you wasn't tolerating no-ish, you wasn't enabling people to stay and do certain specific things that you wasn't doing. And you're just not upset with these people. You just identified, you recognized, and that was a story connecting them, and it was their story, so you just left them. And now they're worrying. They're getting all anxious, they're getting anxiety, and they are confused, because now they're interested in the wrong things, and they're identifying the wrong things that they was interested in. These divine feminines, masculines, family members and friends, they're wanting to be able to come back, because they're pleading now. They're pleading for you. They want to be able to come and plead for your forgiveness. And they're looking to be able to escape from Egypt, because they went to Egypt in the land of sin to be able to look and abuse their power, because they was looking for arguments, and they wanted to be able to come and not argue with you now, because they've been having arguments in the wrong direction with the wrong people, and they're looking mercy for their consequences. They're looking compassion. They wanted forgiveness, because they're looking at you as their lineage, and they wanted understanding towards them. They will need you to have understanding towards them, because they know that they've done wrong, but they want to be able to come and say sorry. You only take what resonates, leave the rest for the best. So I told you on about the stress, that they don't want to be able to come. They want you to refrain from giving them some harsh punishments and retribution. That's punishment that's inflicted on those and others in vengeance. They don't want you to come and be revengeful towards them, because they know they was done wrong. They could have done any criminal acts. They could have done it towards other people, places such as things. And they maybe even need you. They may even need somebody. That somebody will be able to get evidence before them, and it's disregarding towards them. They even may need to be able to call you. They even may need you to come and put evidence forward, because they want to be able to come now towards you. They need you because there's someone's caught them in the act, or they've been caught on tape, and they might need to be able to be careful, and they're discussing evidence. They could be looking at documents, it was invoices, and it could be certain legal things that need to be taken control of, or invoices of evidence that could be shared towards you or other people. And this could be due to money or properties, work, communities. This could be anything to do with their workplace, their home, their housings. So they might need you to be able to come and help and support them, and they're looking at you because they was done wrong against you. And they know they'll be dealing with certain financial and material gains, and that's to be able to receive positive results. So they may want to be able to come and give you financial or positive or material gains. They're coming to be able to come and give you offers for their stuff, for their things, what they did. They could be looking like legitimate reasons. They could even need you to be able to get doctors, or even justifying treatment for things, certain things that they need. So they could be near you or far. They could be in your city or abroad, and they need 444, certain information. They need certain guidance and support and assistance. And that's just because you're in different cities, and they're not even be able to justify and use the things that they need to be able to do, what's reasonable and acceptable for them. So you take what resonates, and it's an unfortunate event. And it could be an unfortunate event or situations that could be taking place. So they may be needing you because they see and they're suffering now. They're feeling these problems, and it's certain things that's affecting them, and they may need you to help it be less severe, to be able to reduce their pain to 1717. Please look up these numbers. And it's a divine favour. They wanting you to have divine favour on them. They wanting you to have compassion. And they could be looking at calamities and they appeal. So they could be appealing for certain things, for a cancellation of a debt or charges. So they may need you to help and support them, sorting out their financial bills, their situations and certain things like that. And these could be just acts of kindness that they're going to ask you or ask you to help them do. And it's a way of forced departure, and they're defeating and deflecting the blame. So they're trying to move certain things just to say, oh, can you help me do this, so they cannot put that blame on them, and so you're not focusing on those things, what they was doing, or the disorders or the misfortunes of not delivering certain things towards you or speaking to you. And they could be in that state, and they could be holding and feeling like intent hurt and harm and pain and stress. They're just trying to shift the blame from their self as well. So they may just kind of just dilute this and shift the blame to somebody else and say they was got done by and they've been cruel and done to, and some cruel natures and people have done this to them. Just saying kind of things like what they did to you, but they didn't realise what goes around comes back around. Yeah, my baby. But we can't say that to them, but we know that. So it's just those feelings, and they're feeling that, so they're not going to actually tell you, because we don't want you to really shame them and tell them, we did tell you so. You don't hear must feel. But never mind, these family, femmes and masculines and feminines are now identifying. Please only take what it resonates. They could be coming to you because they know they was doing evil. And then they've got to be able to accept and take responsibility for the actions that they was doing towards you. So only take what resonates. They could be coming and expressing of their own grief and their own guilt, what they've been going through and the things that happened towards them. And you're going to sit there like, oh, is that what happened? Oh my gosh. Is that what they did? But then you've got to be able to stand and you're just obtaining your power and your truth, because you've seen it's justice, it's deliverance. And that's the actions from their views, from the situation. And it was just like setting a stage. So they're going to try and set a stage for a relationship, because these divine feminines, masculines and family members, as well as friends, that's their moral judgment. And that's them evaluating their soul from the actions and the decisions that they made and the behaviour, right or wrong, good or bad, back. That's just like the moral. It's the vibrational pull. And that was due to the fact of the moral principles that they was doing. Oh gosh. So they may not have had no moral principles because the nose is itching. This every time you lot see me, my nose is itching. And now they got my nose palm camera. It's bugging. So here's what's there on that right values. They're looking at the responsibilities, the things, the values, what they misled and done towards you. Please only take what resonates because it was an impactful event. And now they're impacting their self due to the fact of the actions on you and them. And they've had to move in their own personal lives. So they looked at their own personal lives and they've had to change their view and their sections. That was 2/24. So they had to go through that ending in that cycle to get their new process. And that was mental processing. And now they're analysing and understanding because they're feeling it with their heart. They're processing that information that's going straight to their head, licking them left, right and centre. And you're making your own judgment. You had to make your own judgment and your own decisions because it came down to complex information. And it was small parts that you was getting. You had to understand the relationship with them in different pieces. And you just had to learn how to think through potential consequences, potential feelings, potential thoughts. And you was using your logic. You had to use your creative logic. And that was that all-knowing. And you had to see yourself, you had to look at these problems, you had to understand certain things, you had to overstand, you had to gain that balance and that harmony, you had to find yourself, you had to get that control your emotions. And that was their emotional responses. So when people even come in to tell you certain things and say certain things to you, you just have to, okay, all right, don't lie. Oh, is that how it happened? Oh, okay. So you just identified those things and you was looking at it and it was a continuous mental thing. And you was doing it through different activities. It could have been physical reactions, the way how you responded to certain people, places and things. And it was a stimuli. And it was just looking to see what triggers the cause of reaction. So it was that stimuli to people who's coming, speaking certain things, seeing what kind of cause of reaction. You just thought, you know what, it's not that time. It's not that day. You did not give that relaxation, so you hold it yourself. And you're no longer reacting to negative things. You're just in this positive, joyful and awakening and happiness and releasing negative emotions that no longer serve you. You give that to the Most High God. You can't take on this anger because it's not serving your highest good. It's not making you feel good. And you know when you're holding anger, that causes you heartache, hurt and pain. That causes your neurological problems. That causes you stress. You got arthritis, tutus, you got backache, you got footache. You can't control all of those thoughts and those feelings. You have to let it go. You give it to the divine. And if it relates, take what resonates, leave the rest for the best because they're going to come. And they're going to come meaningful. They don't want you to be harsh. They want you to be able to take time. They don't want you to refuse a request. These divine feminines, masculines as well as friends. They're taking action. And they could be less severe or intense the way how they're coming there because they want him to really be coming for comfort. They want you to console them. They need consoling because they're in regret. They want to repent and it's relenting and it's something that had refused to do before, so they could have continued to refuse to be able to come to you and to express with their unwillingness to do it. They didn't even want to comply with the way how you thought and the way how you felt. They didn't even take into consideration your feelings. They would have responded to you in a disrespectful or rude way and or in a manner to hurt you because when you're saying something to somebody and you're like, oh, you're effing me, they don't say, oh yeah, you're beautiful, I love the way how you smile and the way you flick your hair. They don't say that to you. They're going to tell you the worstest things, so you're going to say them things to them. And they could have refused to answer certain questions when you're answering certain things. They just diverted the question or never answered the question at all or just blanked you. And that was refusing because you wasn't playing these games. You weren't playing these games, so you wanted to identify because you're the coach and you know your player and you teach these players how to play. And if they don't want to listen to you, you kick them off the playing field. So you just identify this and now they want to be able to expose certain things because they didn't want to expose themselves before. And that means that they had to take that battle. So because they didn't want to expose themselves, they had to take that battle. That was 2/24. So they had to go through that heartache and that pain. They got to get them words coming to them. They had to get that battle and it was all within inside of them. And they had to do this because it was necessary. It was all necessary to make these positive changes for themselves. And that was an indicating of the positions that they was in or they could have put you in. And that was formal or even they could be even formal coming towards you. They could be doing this in a writing. It could even be signed by many or appealing. They could be making other people sign this or they could be needing certain other people to be able to sign certain things and appeal certain things for them for authorization in respect of a particular cause like a temporary problem or it could even be actively a legal authorization of debts due to the fact that they need you to succumb, and they may need you due to the fact that money legal organizations. And this is positions, and it could be payments, and it's subjected to, or they may need you to help them and sort out their bills and put it like a £5 a week thing and portion, because they can't speak to other people because their communication skills are not relevant. And they are that liabilities, then more liabilities. They're like more of a liability than an asset, these divine feminines, masculines. And you may need to be able to have complete hope and trust. They want to be able to have complete hope and trust within inside of you. They want that faithful promise, because they see you really like a star. So they see you like a star. They see you in heaven, and you're in that time there where you're in just working, and you're just got that hope, that positivity. You are that true positive force. You are that like nourishment for these divine feminines and masculines, because they're incapable of being kind of that strong, plural. They ain't got that understanding. And now their light eyes, they could be like turning dark because they was just being so dim, whereas their eyes are normally nice and bright and shining. Their eyes could have just gone all dark, so they're feeling sad, they're feeling hurt, and that's unformidable. That's unforbiddable emotions, and that's impossible. It's measures that was exceeding within inside of them. Definitely was, because I don't know how that made a noise. So they're looking at that. They see you as that shining star. You're that example. You are their influence. You are that true divine source. And these divine feminines, masculines, family members as well as friends, they see you as that wise one. You're that wise one who led them to be able to be good. You are that first person who brought them to be able to look at them experiences. They look at the situations. They've got to look at their profound effects. You're the first person who's made them look at their self-inner. And it's through the experiences, and it's a promise, and that spiritual promise. They look at that covenant now, that sacred covenant. They're looking back at that agreement from when you first met. And that's an alliances. They've looked at that between you and these divine feminines and masculines and friends. That's involving specific promises from when you met. It's responsibilities on both sides, and it was fundamental. It was both spiritual relationship, and it was a bond, and it was everlasting. And they're outlining your experiences and your expectations for a mutual understanding. And they're looking and wanted to come and outline this now for you for a mutual understanding. They want to be able to give you a gift and obedience. They come in to involve. They could be coming to tell you and going to give you an oath. So they could be swearing on something. They could want to tell you, well, basically, if you do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to promise this, or I'm pledging this. And it's truthfulness. They're coming with truthfulness. And it's a commitment, and it's formally or declaring statements. It could be a formal statement, or a courtroom, or a ceremonial. So they could be wanting you to go to court. They could need to go to court. They could be coming and telling you, I want to get married. I want to get married. It could be something where it's higher proceedings, and they just need your help, and it's ceremonial. So you might need to be able to be a witness to something, or it's just higher power of sacred objects. Witnessing and taking resonate. Take how it resonates. So they could come and promise you to tell you the truth. They could be looking at the proceedings. It could be even a court proceedings. They could be having to perform actions or uphold particular standards to uphold the law and administrate justice. And this could even just be codes of conduct, and even making promise and formal. So this could be making it with a friend or in front of a friend. And you could be having to go back and forth. And you're just being protected, because you're just going to get the truth. And you are that truth. They ordained, and that was the relationship with the divine. And they looking at you, they looking at the evil forces in front of them. They're going back and forth now with those evil forces. And you are that deep understanding. They're looking at you, they're like that, having that deep understanding of you. They're looking at the experiences that they had with you, the levels and the forces of justice, and the forces that made them sacrifice at that level. And they've had to add that interpretation. They've had to have that divine intervention. And you had to listen to the spiritual guides, because you had that divine intervention. You had the protection. You had that protection from harm. Your back was strong, back against the walls. You had that inner strength that was arising, or that lifted you up, and that raised you up, and gave you that relationship. And that was they was backsliding. They was backsliding back and forth and away from you. And they went, and they could have left back and forth, and they could be even getting back pain. So they could be feeling back pain due to the fact they've got a mental and emotional stress issues now. And they need to be mindful. They may need to be manifesting and do yoga. They may need to be able to address their physical and mental aspects of their back pain. So they might need you to go to doctors, speak about this, gain that medication. They may need strength and that complete trust and confidence within their self. So they may need to be able to come and speak to you and share this, because they're getting that grit of determination. They're looking now, they're definitely fixed with them intentions, positive intentions, because they see they prioritize themselves, they're prioritizing you, and they're prioritizing their desires over their behavior, what influenced them to leave you, and their choices that they made, and their actions and their interactions. And that was due to their survival instincts, and that was severity, and that was their social connections and belonging and looking, and they was doing it due to lust or love and connections, and that was esteem. And now they are looking and regenerating their desires, and they looking at you now, they want to show you that utmost respect, because they gain in power and the influence of control, that they exerted influence over the other situations. And now they're looking and they want to be able to gain this independence and freedom to be able to come to you, because they see that you're free and you're independent and you're self-determination and you're made positive changes towards yourself. So they're looking at their external places now. They're looking at the pressure and they're seeking the knowledge. Like Moses drawing them out, you just drew them out. You seen them, you just drew them out, you brought them, and you looking, you're drawing yourself out, celebrating, because they was not aligned with you. So you just continues to be your true, authentic self. And these divine feminines, masculines, family members as well as friends, they've got to take full responsibility of their actions, because they was blaming others and blaming you, but they was doing adultery just to be able to mess about. Now you just rebuke them with a sharp disapproval. They're feeling that within their heart. That was like you just stabbed them with a knife in their neck. These divine feminines, masculines, family members as friends, they're sitting down now, they're looking at that severity of their sin, what they was doing, because they didn't pick up them karmics and think they thought they was nice gold calves, and they came with an accident and they was worshipping that and engaging and celebrating with these karmics, and you was sitting there with your complexities and looking at these situations and having to identify these. And now they want to be able to come, because they're now looking at the consequences of their sin, because they strayed and they didn't trust in you. They didn't trust and see what you was at. You was that true fruit of obedience, and they wanted to be able to run and leave from you, because you just left that covenant. You left these divine feminines, masculines as well as friends, and they was embracing those false idols, karmics, those golden calves that was making them feel that they was more than. They picked up false energies and they rebelled. And now they're looking and they're looking at their transgressions. They're feeling hurt, and you just abandoned them. You blocked them out. You deleted them due to their harsh activities, what they was doing. And now they're looking and they was playing games, but you just remembered you was the coach. And now they're looking at that place of trust and loyalty, which is you. They're identifying you as that true place of loyalty, and it's deceiving them. They're foreshadowing this, and they're looking at the things. They're discussing at the lengths of the attitudes and the points. They were skipping vital information in a way that suggested a relationship. They're not going to be able to come and tell you that they was doing certain things. They're going to come back and they're not going to tell you on a photograph. Could be they're mentioning certain brief indications to a problems with these karmics. So these karmics could be looking at these divine feminines and masculines, looking at you back on photographs, looking at their memories, and they're going to cause an argument, and it's not worthy, because they're looking at you now. They want to come to you and give you a worthy gift, because you're that worthy gift. These divine feminines and masculines are best, because they're looking and they're feeling motionless, and they want to be able to come and they can't move, and it's consistently, it's formidable, and it's understanding with inside of them, and they're buzzing and they're enduring and they're pulled down into certain suffering, and it's just passed to them free. They're trying to gain this balance. They're expressing, because they see you're just releasing, you're just expressing. They see you're just continuously doing your daily tasks, releasing, and they was rebelling, and you're moving with joy, and you're releasing with freedom. You're transcending through personal limitations that they thought that they could put towards you, or even personal limitations that you put out towards yourself. And you're just expressing and rejoicing your gratitude, because you're upholding this love and joy for yourself. This is coming in 2 parts. We're on 35 minutes. So they're coming towards you. They want to come because you've left these divine feminines. Some of you lot have got back together. Some of them put their head and took their head off the potter's house, and you lot are coming because they're showing you this true devotion of love. Because yeah, they've done you a wrong, and just as the Most High God forgives, these divine feminines are masculine. Oil boils down to it. They're looking forgiveness, but they're needing you. They've gone through certain positions and situations, and they don't want to tell you, oh, basically, I'm not able to do this due to the fact of that. Oh, this situation happened. Yeah, I met this person, it slowed me down, it got me back, and it put me in these setbacks. So they're coming and they're sitting now within their heart. And it's only when you don't know what you've got till it's gone. It's when you're having that time to sit down, reflect, and meditate on a certain situation, people, places, and things. Now, you're always on their mind. So let's see what's in my bag stays out my bag. What's in my stays out my bag, my bag. Oh yeah, we're inside today because it was raining. And the way how the rain was coming down, I thought by the time we're in the shed and you can hear that coming down, I thought, no man, you can't take that, the noise there. Not right now. And then it's cold. And I don't like to feel cold. So these people were feeling cold. And then the tripping. Slow, loads of obstacles are slowing you down. Because I tripped before I got in here. I dropped all the candle wax. So you just be mindful because you lot are getting protection. Because people, these karmics must be vexed because they're looking back on your pictures. And these karmics know that these divine feminines and masculines don't really want them. And they're just a substitute lover. Guarding the word with endurance. Revelations 3:10. So you're just guarding the word with endurance. You're gaining that revelations. You're just guarding it. Least I broke that chain for you that broke that link. You're gonna remember me. So you broke the chain, you broke that link, and now they're remembering you. Wife, spiritual spouse, a helping spiritual guide and supporting individuals in the spiritual work and journey. Romance, sexual to connect with spiritual spouse. So you could be, that could be your spiritual spouse. So that's why you're connecting. They feeling you. They're wanting to come back. They don't know what to do because I'm missing you always. I have to hold myself. So they're missing you always. Those karmics see it. They're trying to hold their self. When people speak about you, they just shh. They don't want nobody to know. They're trying to hold these things. They're promising. They're coming down now. They're looking and they're waiting. They're wanting to be able to come because they were so stiff-necked. They lied when people says, oh, do you very? No. Why are you lying for? The answer so quick that you knew that. Just shifting cycles, going where it rolls me to. So you're shifting your cycles. You're going where it rolls you to. Right out of that danger. Connecting to vibrations of what I desire. So you connecting to positive vibrations of what you desire. They was connecting to vibrations of what they desired. Those low danger vibrations. It don't matter. So they were saying it didn't matter at that specific moment in time. You could be telling them it don't matter now. Go about your business. I sleep, prayed up, protected. So you're sleeping, prayed up, protected from these karmics. So when they're trying to put all these obstacles towards you, it's not happening. It's not working. They stole a lot of money. Others helped. So they could have stolen a lot of money. Others helped them. So them karmics could have helped. So they could have been out there helping steal money. That's why those out in earth, because I ain't going nowhere. I'm yours forever. So they could be telling you I ain't going nowhere. I'm yours forever. So that's why they want to come back. They're just trying to fix up their self. They're trying to gain that divine truth to be able to come to you, to give you that divine truth, give you that balance. They're finding that middle balance and they're trying to find their understanding. Intellectual, baby. You're letting them know I'm intellectual, baby. I'll speak that shit. I'll tell you that shit and I'll let you know because I am mastery of your mind. Discerning to gain. So you need to be able to be discerned to gain and have that discipline to be able to gain. So the soul is a powerful essence evolving from my own evolution. The part of me that is immortal. It's my mothership. It is a sail to the meaning and the purpose. My sail lives on. My soul lives on. My soul is me. Filling it with meaning. So you're looking at your soul lives on, you're feeling it with meaning. Nowadays feeling their soul because your heart is your soul. Your heart is where your soul resides. They're feeling you and living it with meaning and they're saying that lives on. So they're coming towards you. You are the best thing in people's life. Help them elevate. So you are that best thing in people's life. You're just helping other people elevate their mind, elevate their soul, elevate their spirit, elevate their self. You are the good return for their labor. They need your good help, energy, fierce spirit to enable them to help defend them against that have now turned against them as what they thought you did. Those they was around did. Now they need you. You are that asset. So now they need you. You are that asset. New beginnings in love. They may be coming towards you because they wanted new beginnings in love because the people that was around, they thought you was the one who did them a wrong. But it was the people that they left you for that did them a wrong. Now they're saying that you're that true divine feminine. You are that true one. because you're setting boundaries and it was needed. So you had to set certain boundaries. You had to block, delete. It was needed. It wasn't to be horrible. It wasn't to say no. You just couldn't take that energy or that force of you felt. Kevin Gates, crypto, I manifest, NFT, baby. Trying to block you. So certain people's trying to block you. That karmic could have been trying to block you, trying to gain your goods, your partner. Remember who you are. All the aspects of you, good, bad, as well as ugly, for growth. Why, where, when, who. So remember that. Get uncomfortable to get comfortable. So now they've had to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, because now they're looking at all the different aspects. They went to the land of sin. They're seeing you. They're wanting you. Now they've got to get uncomfortable to be able to get back to comfortable with you. New collective, new perspective. Ain't like nothing before. Kevin Gates. 444. Just riding on the Jacob's ladder on my lifetime of spiritual journey. So you're going up that. Getting your awakening, that's Jacob's ladder. When you look up Jacob's ladder, it's about your 33 vertebrae going up your spine, getting that spiritual awakening, gaining that understanding, knowing who people, places, things are, giving you that awakening to know, do I want to be in that low part, or am I going to have to go back down that ladder, do hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock ran up, the class ran down, then which way are you doing it? Do your mind play tricks on you? I think about you. Do you think about me too? Do ya? Do you still feel so far ahead? 'Cause I'll be feeling forever. Right, it wasn't built to break. Oh, that's why. Because I'll be thinking about you forever. Green Babies 2000 gave shots, jabs to boys to make them more GAY. What? That's what they did. So look up that. Green shots in 2000s. So those people that are at the ages of 25 and upwards, they're more prone to be, due to the fact they gave you babies shots. That's knowledge and wisdom. I didn't say that. That was information. Ask me where I find it. Don't know. I ain't going nowhere. Okay, that's the same one. So they definitely ain't going nowhere. They send in bad juju, backfiring. You see the bomber clap fire them pussy or them fucking them. Okay, so a sexual urge takes over your body, so that's why they was in the land of sin. They better make sure a sexual urge don't take over your body, because they won't be coming back in. Wait till I get my money right. So they're telling you, wait till I get my money right. They've got to get the money right before they come in right, because they can't get the money right because they need you to pay this £5 bill each and every month. Stephen, honor, victory, re-own, spiritual strength, resilience, spiritual awareness, discerning, deeper meaning, get to know.